Hey, Podsters, if I were to tell you that you can enjoy your summer, and there's no one that loves summer more than me. You can enjoy your summer, you can have fun, you can go to all the parties, you can have the fun activities with your kids, you can take the vacations, and also you can set yourself up so that you are wired for this change. Maybe it's a job change, maybe it's retirement, maybe it's a career change, maybe it's making your side hustle your full time job, maybe it's getting more clients for your business. You can do both at the same thing. In the next 22 minutes, I'm going to take you through, let's say 21 minutes, 7 minutes each, Podsters, how to think differently, how to act differently, and how to make sure you're following up. And I'm giving you all the tools, all the scoop, everything I do with my one on one clients so that you can change the conversation. And instead of getting grossed out by networking this summer, have some of these conversations, turn some of these backyard barbecue conversations into significant business contacts. You can do it. It's up to you. And today I'm going to show you how. Are you ready to speak up, stand out, and get your seat at the table? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to Unmute Yourself, the podcast where you'll get real life anecdotes and actionable tools for you to step into your strengths, debunk imposter syndrome, truly know your worth, and show up like you own the room every time. I'm your host, Nancy Medoff, who did the thing and followed my passion for empowering women like you to unleash that inner spark and become who you know you are meant to be. I'm a diehard foodie with a raging Skittles habit who will not stop until women everywhere unmute themselves and truly thrive at work, at home, or wherever you may be. Let's do this. Podsters, I'm back. And I'm coming in hot again because I am fired up. I am totally fired up about you. And I'm fired up about the endless possibilities that are available to you and how easy it is for you to tap into this next level of whatever that means for you. That sounded a little woo-woo. If you know me, you know what you probably know what I mean is how to really just do it, how to do the thing. So we've been talking over the past few weeks about not checking out this summer. And as I am all for summer, I am filming this in a baseball hat, sunglasses, tank top, covered in bug spray, because that's what we do here on Cape Cod, because I'm all about being outdoors and enjoying my summer. At the same time, if you check out, you are going to be way behind when fall comes. And if you want to make a change in your life, if you want to change your job, if you want to make your side hustle your full-time job, if you want to change careers, if you want to leave, if you're getting ready for retirement, whatever it is, if there's a big change coming and you tell yourself that you're going to think about it over the summer and then make your big move in the fall, I'm telling you, you're not. You're going to think about it over the summer, and then maybe 1 or 2% of the people that I talk to actually make the move, because fall becomes busy work season, back to school, priorities with children, priorities with yourself. Then comes the holidays, then comes New Year's, and you are back with the herd again. So I'm going to dedicate a lot of podcast time over the coming weeks to things you can do slowly but surely over the summer so that you are locked and loaded. And when you're ready at the end of the summer, you've already done the work. So you just need to activate everything. So we talked a couple weeks ago about why you should not wait. And I'm going to link in the show notes for that so you can have a listen if you want to. Then last week, I had on the fabulous Miranda Von Fricken, who trained us all how to level up our LinkedIn. And if you didn't listen to that, you probably should. I got a lot of great feedback on that, by the way. And thanks to you all for the feedback. I love it. The notes, the comments, everything. And today I'm going to talk about how to network without feeling gross about it, and how to use the summer. I think the summer is actually the best time to network. I'm going to explain what I mean, and I'm going to show you how I do that. I am going to give you a boatload of tools during this episode. I'm also going to refer you back to a 2023 episode where I talk about level up your network to level up your life. If that's where you are right now, it's a great episode for you to listen to. And then there was one I did back in January, because new year, new you, everybody wants new everything. Back in January, I talked about how to slay, not sleaze, and how to network and take the sleaze out of it, if networking sounds sleazy to you. I feel strongly enough about this that today we are talking about networking again, I am highly caffeinated. If you couldn't tell, I'm probably on my fourth cup of coffee, and they're big cups. They're like the oversized. You can see I even spilled it. They're the oversized Crate and Barrel big bistro mugs because that's my jam. Anyway, because I love my coffee in the morning. So I'm a little caffeinated. I am talking quickly. You might want to slow down the speed. Jen, my podcast producer, good luck keeping up with everything that's going to happen in this podcast episode. Anyway, here's what we got. We had small steps you can do on LinkedIn. And before that, we talked about why not wait. And today we're going to talk about how to network like a ninja without it being gross. So a couple things. If you have not already taken the high five test, it's like a strengths, it's a strengths test, quick survey that takes you through where your strengths lie. And if you haven't done that yet, I'm going to link in the show notes. There are two different versions of this. There is the free version, which is super quick and you get it down and dirty. And then there's a paid version if you're into it and you want to do a little bit more. That costs a little more, or that costs, I think it's like $30 or something like that. I'm not really sure, but it gives you a much more detailed overview of your strengths. Highly, highly worthwhile. I love this. This philosophy changed my life, and it's really about, rather than focus on your weaknesses and getting better at your weaknesses, focus on your strengths and get better at your strengths. Because it's a strength, you probably do it often. Because you do it often, you get better and better at it. Ideally, your strengths are what you love to do. So you get better and better at what you love to do, and then you're the best at what you love to do. And who doesn't want that? Then you're the best at what you love, and you can go get a job doing what you love. So the reason why I ask you to take a look at your strengths, or think about what you want to be doing. So as you're talking to people over the summer, like, now notice I said talking to people, not networking. So instead of calling it networking, let's call it talking to people. Okay? I'm just making a note because I love that little nugget, because I love that. As you're talking to people over the summer, you want to be able to tell them what you love to do. And if you can't answer that question, then you can't expect to level up your life. So what is it you want to be doing? Is it, I love project management? Great. What is it you love about project management? It could be something as simple as, I'm most happy when I'm managing multiple deadlines and keeping people on track. That's a little different than I love project management, right? That could mean anything. That could be, you could be on a fishing boat in Alaska talking about and doing that. So, whatever the case may be, it's a different way to frame it. So again, as you're talking to people this summer, we're not going to call it networking, talking to people this summer, maybe it's at a barbecue. And by the way, sorry, before I go too far down a rabbit hole, I didn't mention this earlier. This is if you own your own business and you're looking for clients, this applies to you. If you want to change careers, this applies to you. If you are retiring and you don't know what's next, this applies to you. If you're a recent college grad, you're in a job, you don't love it, this applies to you. So you can apply this to anything. So you're welcome. Anyway, so if you're looking at your network and you don't have a lot of diversity in your network, and I would encourage you to do this, look at your network and look at who's in your network and who do you lean on. And if you are only talking to people in your own company or even your own industry, it might be time to change that up a little bit. So this applies to you too. So let's say you're in one of those situations. It's a personal situation, whatever, you're out doing your thing, and you meet somebody that works for a company that you like and you're interested in. Either you want to retain that company as a client, or you think you might want to work for that company. Super simple. I'm going to use the example of New Balance. And I'm using that example because I just bought New Balance sneakers, which I love. And I'm looking at a New Balance bag. So, and by the way, New Balance is headquartered in my hometown. So it's whatever. It's a good company. So let's say you meet someone there from New Balance. You could say something as simple as, "Oh, that's amazing. I've always admired that company. I've followed that company for years. I've always admired that company." I guarantee you, if you say that, the person's going to say, "Oh, that's really cool." Like, well, why? Or what do you like about it? Or how'd you hear about us? Or whatever the case may be. I am not suggesting that, when you're in line at Starbucks or wherever you get your coffee and you find out someone works for New Balance, you say to them, "Oh my God, that's great. I'm dying to work for them." That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you express interest in them in the company, and they will continue the conversation. And ideally, that conversation eventually leads to you talking to that person in person about New Balance, or, "Hey, would you like to come take a look at our factory?" Or, "Oh, that's awesome. Have you been to our new office? I'd love to show you around." Or if the person is a little reticent and they're not really forthcoming with that, if you continue to talk to them, maybe you say something like, I really enjoyed talking to you. Like, that's so cool. Like, could we grab a cup of coffee sometime and I can learn a little bit more? That's, or perhaps it's, hey, I don't want to take up your time talking about work at this pool party. Maybe I can come see you at your office and we can continue the conversation. That's all. Weird? Nope. Icky? Nope. Natural? Yeah. And when you do it enough, it becomes natural. So that might not sound natural to you. And you might be thinking, Nancy, you're an extrovert. You've been doing this for 20 years. Okay. And it wasn't always natural to me, but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes, the more you demystify it, and it's just part of what you do. And then the key here, Podsters, is you meet the person at the pool. This is the difference. I'm telling you right now, this is the difference between people who thrive at work and love what they do and people who sit around and wish they were in a different situation. I'm telling you right now, this next step, if you do one thing, this is it. It is the follow-up. So you're at line at Starbucks, you see someone, they work for New Balance, you love New Balance, you've always wondered what it would be like to work for New Balance, or maybe you already know you want to work for New Balance. And you say, you know what, I'd love to continue the conversation. Can I get in touch with you and we can maybe grab a cup of coffee? They say yes. That day or the next day or the next day, within 2 days, you sit down and you follow up. If it's awkward and you don't want to get their email address, you get their name, you say, I'll hit you up on LinkedIn. If you get their email, you get their email. If you already know their address, you text them, or their email address or phone number, whatever, you text them. Within 3 days, I'm telling you, if you don't do it within 72 hours, you probably won't. And that opportunity, boop, it's gone. And this is how you get the dream job. It's not going on Indeed and being with thousands of other people that are applying for a job. It's getting to know the company, getting to know people within the company, working your way through that company, and getting in that way. Now, before I get too far, I also want to mention that I love my Pumas. Okay. Puma is a client. I love my Pumas. Pumas are my favorite socks. I love my Puma street sneakers. So Puma, if you're listening, all the love for you too. Puma is also a great example, by the way. They have a big office outside of Boston. If I wanted to work for Puma, I know a couple people over there. I would say, hey, you know what? Can I come to your retail store because I love your socks? And I'm not joking, Podsters, because I love your socks and I really want to get some more. They will meet you. They will bring you in while you're there. Guarantee you're going to bump into someone else that works for Puma and have a conversation. I am not saying to use these people. I am saying get in the door. And maybe while you're there, you say, thanks for letting me shop in your company store. Did you know that I love your company? That's all you need to say. People want to help other people. Think about when someone asks you for a connection. You want to help them and you will try to help them. All right. So this is for if you meet somebody and they work for a company you want to work for. Let's say the situation is different. Let's say you're in a situation and someone asks you, they say, what do you do? And you say, let's say you're a sales executive and you say, I'm a sales executive. I work for XYZ company. Now, let's say you're a sales executive. You work for XYZ sales company or XYZ company, and you are looking to make a change. It is that simple. Right now, I'm VP of sales for X company, and I'm actually looking for my next opportunity. Or I'm a VP for XYZ company, and I'm currently looking to expand and do this, this, and this instead. So I'm going to give you a real life example. Someone asks you what you do. You say, right now I'm VP of sales for Diptyque. I don't know if you guys have heard of Diptyque. They are super bougie candles. They are super bougie. So I'm just using this as an example. I'm VP of sales for Diptyque, and I'm in the process of changing industries to one that's more blah, blah, blah. So I'm in the right now, I'm VP of sales for Diptyque, and I'm in the process. I don't want to say looking. I want to be very specific. I'm in the process of changing industries to one that's more in the X sector, to one that's more about wellness, one that's more about nutrition, one that's more about serving underserved communities, one that's more about blah, 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 whatever the case may be. The reason why I don't like the word looking for, that's going to skeeve you out. That's going to make you that might make you hesitate. Well, I'm currently looking for blah, blah, blah. Maybe you're outgoing and you're aggressive and you're assertive and that won't bother you. Many of you that listen to this podcast, you probably wouldn't be comfortable saying, well, I'm looking for blah, blah, blah. Instead, I'm in the process of changing industries. A few things happens when you say that. Process of changing industries. One, you send a message to yourself. You're not looking, you're doing it. You're in the process of doing it. You also send a message to the person that you're in the process of changing industries. Not you're looking, I'm thinking about, I'm searching. You're doing it. I'm in the process of changing industries, or I'm in the process of taking a step back and evaluating blah, 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 whatever the case may be. I'm in the process of retirement or I'm in the process of defining my next chapter. And here's where I'm focusing. Let's say you're in retirement. Let's say you are in business for yourself and you are tapping into a new market. Right now I serve, right now my product serves teenage women. I'm in the process of adapting the product so that it's more applicable to men in their 30s, whatever the case may be. I'm trying to show you that I'm in the process of changing. You can change whatever you want, however you want, whenever you want. You're in the process of doing it. Massive, massive difference between I'm looking for a position with a company, blah, 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 versus I'm in the process of changing. I love that. Words matter, words matter, words matter. Now, this does not mean that if you want to say you're looking for whatever, a job, a change, a pivot, you can say that if that's what you're comfortable with. I think there's a more powerful way to say it, and I just gave it to you several times. So when you say I'm in the process of changing industries or whatever the case may be, that will likely be responded to with, oh, that's great. I know my friend so-and-so does this and they really love it. So you have a conversation. The logical follow-up to that conversation, if they offer up some more information, is to say, oh my God, that's so awesome. Can I set up a time to talk to you about this? Or could you connect me with your friend? Or whatever the next step is. And then you do it within 72 hours. So if somebody says, my friend launched a company and that's their space, I'm sure you guys would have a lot in common. Oh my God, that's so awesome. Do not give them your number and ask them to make the connection. Nope. You want to get the information so that you're driving the process. First of all, they're doing you a favor, so you want to take on the work yourself. Second of all, you want to control this process. And you want to say, that's awesome. Can I text you on Monday and you can give me their information? Yep. And then you actually follow up and you do it. Amazing. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to suggest, and I have a fantastic tool for this. The last thing I'm going to suggest, well, actually, hold up. Before I do that, I'm taking you over the next several weeks through a very abridged version of my one-on-one coaching. If you're really serious about this change and you want to make sure you do it and it's a significant change for you, I strongly recommend you apply for my one-on-one coaching. I'm giving you this information here. It's the same information, but this is massive accountability. It's a much deeper dive. I am with you every step of the way. I'm opening you up to my network. We go through all of these tools and more. We go through a lot more. And it's that one-on-one and accountability. So if you're really serious about it, you need to sign up for the one-on-one coaching. I'll put a link in the show notes. If you want to dabble, if you're still in the dabble phase, that's cool. Keep listening to the podcast. When you're ready to actually do it, let's talk. Anyway, so the last thing I'm going to suggest is how to track all this follow-up, because as you're talking to people, remember, we're not calling it networking. You want to catalog all of this. You want to remember who was who. You want to make sure you're keeping in touch with them. You write it down on the back of a cocktail napkin. It ends up in the bottom of whatever. It gets wet. You never talk to the people again, whatever the case may be. I have a tool for this. You won't be surprised. I have my forensic networking tool. It is fantastic. This is by far one of the best tools I offer. This has been honed over years. And this is what I used when I was getting ready to leave my company. And this is what I use with my clients. This is what I recommend in my course that I was offering. This is what I recommend in the Do the Thing retreat. This is a very cool, easy to use tool where you can catalog and just keep track of who you're talking to. Who are they? Are they a connector? Are they a coach? Are they a potential buyer if you're in business for yourself? How are you organizing your coaches and mentors? How do I know this person? How can they help me? Why would they help me? How can I help them? Upcoming events, people I want to meet. I mean, this is networking like a ninja. This is networking on steroids. If you're ready for that, I'll include a link in the show notes. Download it. It's all you, babe. It's all you. You can have it. You can have it. This is how much I believe in this. So we talked about thinking differently. You're not networking, you're talking to people. That's all you're doing. And this is not a little sales. I'm not salesing this. I'm telling you, this is all you're doing is talking to people. So get over it. Talk to people. You talk to people every day. You're just reframing. So you're thinking differently. Talk to people. 2, you're going to act differently. You're going to have the conversations that we talked about. And then 3, you're going to follow up. You have to follow up. Almost all of my success in sales was because of the follow-up with the people who booked with me, the follow-up with the people who didn't book with me. Almost all of my success as a speaker is in the follow-up with the people that I do programs for, follow up with the people that I didn't get to do programs for, follow up with my clients after the program. It is the follow-up that is key. I am giving you the keys to this kingdom. I am giving you the networking playbook. I am giving you the verbiage. I am giving you the opportunity to work with me one-on-one. Podsters, this is now on you. And I love you. And I know this life that's available for you. So I hope you take this advice. I hope you do at least one thing from today's session. I hope you apply for the one-on-one coaching, because that's the way to really do it. And I hope you get to see what's on the other side, because it's on the other side for you, Podsters. It's there, I promise you. I love you. I'm going to peace out. Back next week. Have a great week. I'm trying to think. This is going to air, I think, the last week in June, maybe second to last week in June. Please hold, Podsters, while I look this up. This is going to air the last week in June, which is one of my favorite weeks, because it's the week leading into 4th of July, summer kickoff. Love it, love it, love it. Keep the DMs coming. If you liked this episode, please share it with someone. Please share it. I am doing this. I don't get paid for this podcast. I don't have sponsors. I do it because I believe that everybody deserves to thrive at work. And that's up to us. Love you. Peace out. See you next week. That's a wrap, Podsters. And before we go, I ask you, what's one thing from today's episode that you will use this week to unmute yourself? DM me, email me, send a smoke signal, whatever you need to do. Let me know what you're going to do differently. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone you know and leave a 5-star review on Apple. This helps me spread our message of empowerment to more people worldwide. Let's do this.